Okay, here's the deal. Most monitors are garbage, and when I say most, I mean 95% of them are absolute hot trash. In fact, the monitor industry as a whole should be ashamed of themselves, so you'd think making a top 3 monitors list would be difficult because there's nothing to choose from, but actually, in the last year, we've gotten some decent displays at semi-reasonable prices, which means what actually makes this list hard is narrowing it down to just 3, because depending on what you're looking for, there's a lot of room for discussion on what's actually the best. But as you all know, my word is law, plus I get it, and that's it. So after this video, if you're looking for a new display, you should have a good idea of what's the best available. Oh, and I'll have Amazon affiliate links to everything I mention in the comments below, which I highly suggest you click on if you're interested in purchasing any of these displays. But enough about that. Let's start at number 3, and this one's definitely as hard as a supreme brick because in reality, it's more of a 4-way tie between the 42-inch LG C2, potentially C3, the 32-inch mini LED INNOCN 32 M2V at its great price, and the 27-inch ASUS 240Hz OLED for various different reasons, but I'm going to have to just barely give it to the LG C2. And here's why. The ASUS 240Hz OLED is really good and offers superior brightness to any other WOLED monitor, but I prefer 4K over 2K greatly. 2. The INNOCN 32 M2V 4K 160Hz mini LED is also really good, but it's frequently out of stock. And despite its more reasonable 32-inch size, unfortunately it also sports a disgusting matte finish, ruining much of the clarity and contrast just like the ASUS OLED, which is a real shame that companies can't help themselves but pour oil and super glue all over these things, but sadly this is the world we've made for ourselves. 3. I haven't tested the C3 yet, and although I've been told it should be around 20% brighter, it's also going to be $400 to $800 more expensive, and in some cases that could make it twice as expensive as picking up a C2 on sale or used. Also, the C2 is great because of its 42-inch size, and its price is also fantastic, especially considering it has an incredible glossy finish, allowing for much better color and clarity. Now, that said, if you can stretch your budget to $1,000 plus, I actually recommend avoiding WOLED altogether right now, as quantum dot OLED displays are smashing LG in terms of picture quality, which is why I'm putting the Alienware AW3423DW as my number 2 pick. Not only is it much brighter than most OLEDs, but it also has a beautiful glossy finish and the greater color that's offered by quantum dot OLED, along with a solid 175Hz refresh rate. The only downsides are the weird subpixel layout, raised blacks in a bright room, and the 21:9 aspect ratio with a lower 3440 by 1440 resolution, which I'm just not a huge fan of. And that's where we land at number 1. And I know this will be controversial and is definitely a stretch to call a monitor, but god damn it, it's by far the best, and it's what I'm using as a monitor, and it's the Samsung S95C at 55 inches. Yes, the size is silly, but if you can manage to make some room for it and maybe wall mount it, not only can it get insanely bright at over 2000 nits peak brightness after an overclock, and compared to most OLEDs that top around 800 to 900 nits, it's an absolute blowout, but it's also 4K 144Hz, has incredible color after calibration, and is a glossy screen, giving you the best vibrancy and clarity of any other display out there. The catch is just the size and the insane price of $2,500, making it far out of reach for most buyers unless it's a business expense or you're also using it as a TV. But the best is the best, and this is definitely it by a country mile. So despite those huge caveats, in my opinion, it absolutely deserves the top spot as the best display ever made. I just hope we get something similar in a 32 to 42 inch size soon and at a lower price, so more people can experience how great 4K 144Hz bright glossy quantum dot OLED really is. Whether you're looking to connect a new console, gaming PC, or just need a fast and reliable HDMI cable to connect over long distances, Rupro has you covered with their Rupro 8K HDMI 2.1 fiber optic cable, available in sizes ranging from 3 to 165 feet, and can deliver a perfect full 48 gigabits per second connection over distances other cables could only dream of reaching. And with 48 gigabits per second of bandwidth, it can easily drive 8K at 60 FPS or 4K at 120 FPS HDR10 video through its ultra-thin, flexible, and durable housing, and it even supports eARC. So if you're in the market for a cable that can drive a beautiful new TV or monitor, be sure to check out Rupro on Amazon today.